Welcome to the Mottie Hour, a podcast about 2018's Konami's Mimani line of series and newest dance game, Dance Rush Stardom. I'm so thrilled and excited to start this episode. Well, allow me to introduce myself to you, the one listening to this podcast. My name is IdlePrep. I'm located in the East Coast United States, more specifically New York. More on that later. I've been playing rhythm games ever since I was a kid, where I was exposed to Guitar Hero and Dance Dance Revolution when I was like 5 or 6. I've been away from rhythm games for quite some time, on and off throughout high school, and then throughout the summer of 2022 and through social media, I picked up Dance Rush Stardom that summer and met a ton of people ever since then. So I've been playing for about a year now. In this first episode of the Moti Hour, I'll be interviewing a couple members of my hometown crew, basically my second family, the East Coast Stardom Crew. These guys have formed in September of October of 2022. Started from an Instagram group chat, and it grew on then for like the past 5 years. I don't want to keep you guys waiting, so if you're ready, I'm ready. Without further ado, let's bring the house down. Yo, what is happening, guys?
Pull up.
I'm feeling really good. I got my coffee. I'm happy. I'm a happy man.
I guess
I am.
I mean, yeah. I mean, what's good with water? And of course, a little dead space, G Fuel.
before streaming, I was actually gonna make myself a G Fuel. Because I had some left, but just water. Water it is.
Yeah, always go with water. That is the best. That is the best route to go.
Well, water is the essential.
Oh
You
yeah,
want to make sure
definitely.
you always stay hydrated, especially when you're playing. You know, Dance Rush.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, guys, first and foremost, I do want to say welcome to the first episode of the Mosey Hour. So I have Warrior and Aztrylmyx of the East Coast Stardom Crew. Well, to start things off, tell us who you are from my left, and when did you start playing Dance Rush?
All right. So my name is Aiden. I also go by Warrior. I have been playing since 2018, I believe. And the reason why I started like the whole East Coast Stardom Crew is because I wanted to find people that, share the same interests as me, because I wanted to grow and like improve on my shuffle dancing, and I'm sure multiple people do. So I was like, you know what? Let me go talk. So this one day I was playing Dance Rush with like a couple of my friends, and I see like a group of, I think it was like 5 people, and I was just like, hey, like, you guys want to try to do a train? And they're like, oh, what's that? So I was like explaining them how to do a train or a rotation. And we started hitting it off. And then next thing you know, I was just like, hey, let's start a group chat. Like, let's come in multiple times during the week. Like, why not? And so that's how it all started off. And then once we kept asking more people and more people to join in, like with Demonte, it just blew up. Like, our Instagram group chat was at capacity, so we decided to move over to Discord. And we just kept racking in all these members, and I'm so glad that I created this. It was amazing to see everybody just improve.
Hey, hey, hey. So I go by Astromix, but my real name is Demonte. Um, I've been playing Dance Rush actually around since 2018. Um, I didn't really. So, fun fact, I didn't really take the game serious when it first came out. Uh, I saw the game and I was like, huh, it's another Konami-based rhythm game. You dance on the pad, you hit the notes or whatnot. Um, Played it for a few tries and I was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Eventually, I started watching other people play. So, like, some of the locals that still play the game to this day, like Mon, our good buddy QED, aka JD, another friend of ours, Totas, John. I used to watch them play, and I was observing like their movements and how they moved, and I was like, oh, like this is actually how you play the game. Like this is how you move. Eventually over time too, I started watching some videos. Kashiki, I started watching like later down the line. He started to post videos up, and I also was watching like some of like the KEC stuff. And from there, I was like, all right, this is something that I actually wanted to dedicate my time to. This is something I actually really wanted to learn and wanted to grow from. Um, Over the years, like Aiden was saying, he started off with like a small group of people, and around this time, I was getting back into the game a little bit more, and that's when I met Aiden and a few others. And from that point on is when I knew that Dance Rush was going to start taking off, because that's when I started to see more and more people started to gravitate off of it. More new faces, a newer generation. Um so from there it just started to evolve, and just to be here with you guys, I want to say like 5 years now, or 5 years later, it's just an amazing thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do want to mention and give a shout out to Kashiki. He's going to be the guest judge at Mistake on the Lake 5 in about 3 weeks, which is going to be awesome. Located in Mentor, Ohio. But moving on forward, we did mention it in our intros in a way, but do you guys have any dance background prior to Dance Rush? And also how you guys got into Dance Rush and also rhythm games in general. So like I know we played some DDR and Pump as well.
So with me, I took some dance classes and I did like a little bit of hip hop dance, and then I transitioned over into like playing DDR. But then I had a little bit of an injury during DDR, so I took a break from it. And when I saw Dance Rush, that's when I started transitioning into shuffle dancing.
For me, I had a little bit of a dancing background back in the day, um, but I never really took note of it. It was just more so of a, okay, you go to like a party or like a family gathering, and they play some good music, and I'll vibe to it, I'll dance to it, or and so forth. But um down the line, when I started really like paying attention to more of dance styles and like top rocking and b-boying, um a little bit of hip hop, and then also the shuffling elements to it, that's when I started to really become more focused and more keen onto those different styles of dance. And when the game came out, that's when I really was like, okay, this is something that I want to like learn going forward and start building going forward.
Awesome. I know we mentioned it earlier, but we've been active on the social media game for quite some time now, so about a year. So happy anniversary to us. But it's been crazy seeing the growth of New York Dance Rush over the past year. Like, there's a lot of more people coming to our round one in Long Island, and then there's also more players from like the Westchester area going up to Middletown as well. So though I've been in and out from time to time, the question is how do you explain to an outsider what is the East Coast Stardom Crew? Like whether they're watching our videos on YouTube or perhaps even watching us from around one, or like if we're at a convention and all that stuff and we're playing Dance Rush at the convention.
Yeah, and
I
I reached out to like multiple people who came to our round one. Like we had Nicotron, who is in Florida right now, as a high school student as a senior, and he, well, like they don't have a round one in Florida. They have a, what is it, Arcade Monster or something like that,
Yeah, it's an
and they
arcade
have a dance.
monsters.
Yeah, there we go. They have a dance rush over there, and he's been practicing for so long. He's been asking me for tips. He's been asking me like, hey, like who do you like go to like get your inspiration from? So I was like, okay, let me just give you like some of these accounts. Let me give you some of these videos, stuff like that. Even I demonstrated myself.
um so like kind of like what Aiden was saying, like over time I know that like some people would reach out, or like even random people just like in general, like if I'm like in the arcade and I'm playing the game or whatever, and like I get off the pad and like some people will come up to me and ask like how to play the game or like the structure of it, and I would pretty much just give them like the explanation and explain like the I guess the basics or the basis of the game, and then just take it from there. I had actually I had Aiden being one of them. I remember he'd always come up to me, and we talk about it, and he would ask me, questions and stuff, and like tips on like how to do certain things, and just give him like like a full rundown, like. But I also would tell him like, eventually, when you start playing this game, you create your own style and your own basis that's a lot comfortable for you. So, and that's something that I've seen over time, like with Aiden and even with you, Jay. Like you have your own style too. Uh, it's to see everybody like comfortable in their own dance arc. If that's the best way to explain it, like story arc. I call it like the dance arc. Uh, it's really cool. It's really admirable. But I always tell people, always just talk to everyone. Like talk to people, just ask questions. Don't be afraid to go up to somebody and then ask something and feel like you're not going to get like you're gonna get like a negative feedback or whatever, a negative like answer. Like we're very all wholesome. We're very down to earth. Like we'll answer questions for you. We'll help you. So
And to add with that, like the whole thing with Dance Rush is to have fun. You're not here to just like, go all hard and, just like show off. No, it's all about having fun, finding your niche. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like people think that, we're just doing this just to like being on a show off. We're not. It's just us. Like that's how we dance as like a personality.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not like in DDR where you're like playing a really hard CSP where it's like an 18 or 19. I just got something in my chat. EXC or bust.
Oh no.
I mean, appreciate the full combo though. Uh I never full comboed or EXC anything in Dance Rush before. I don't really count the dance lessons because they're pretty straightforward, like the crab step lesson, for example, but I digress about that. But I do want to talk about like with this game, it's not like DDR where you're trying to beat like your high score, trying to get a full combo and all that stuff. It's very expressive because dance is an art and all that stuff. And like you're basically learning from other people and like kind of getting feedback as well. By the way, for those who are listening at home, how I met Aztrylmyx was like sometime in July of 2022. I remember posting a video of Nightlife by Mouse Shop. A little cringy, I do say, but like we talked about the game and just like kind of like some technique stuff and all that stuff, and we kind of clicked from there. And like we talked about earlier, like his inspirations were QED and Mon by just watching them, and basically for me and you, it's just basically the same thing. Moving on forward, I do want to talk about what's happening in the game. So us Dance Rush players have been getting some good stuff. So we just had Group B of the KAC qualifiers. So we had some new songs from After Hours by MK, two new songs from KU recently. So he did a lot of good stuff. So with Rock the Party, Perfect Eater Start and Remix, and Love You, which is his first song. And then also the fall event, Sparkfest 2023, and the Touch My Body rerun. Just wanted to see your guys' thoughts about the recent events in the game and just overall the in-game events that usually happen on a monthly slash yearly basis for this game.
Um, I will admit, like, because like for me, I'm a student and I got work. It's definitely hard for me to go into round one and play the event. But in like the few like days or weeks that I've been playing the Sparkfest, I definitely see like it's very grindy as all events are, but the songs are really good, and I was just trying my best to knock out as much progress as possible, and then the next time I come in, grind out the next few. But you know what, in the end I didn't make it, but I'm fine because you know what, I am happy with like everybody else, like getting their songs. I could just play it off of them. It's okay.
That
You
is.
can you can play it off of my account. It's okay.
Thank you, thank you. I'll, I'll swing over to your place.
No, it's kind of like what Aiden said. Well, to bounce off that as well. I know that Spark Festival and gym events they're very grindy. Since like they started doing these since like when the game first came out, and um, I know a lot of us were like, oh man, another event, great. We're gonna have to grind and grind. But the way I look at it, really, honestly, it's like it helps in a way of not just you like building that foundation and experimenting different things, but also it's a great workout. Like I look at the gym event and I'm like, man, like yeah, it's grindy, but it also allows for you to refresh different things that like you haven't done in a while. So like the recent gym event that just came out, it focused more on Running Man. And the other day when I was grinding out the event, I'm like, wow, I like totally forgot how to do an actual Running Man because it's like you like are focused on other things over time when you're like playing the game, and but when you go back to like the simple basics, it's just like, oh wow, like that's actually a thing. But yeah, when it comes to like the Spark festivals, the gym events, like when it comes to like the songs, most of the songs are great. Like, they got like some songs that are okay, a little bit decent. Overall, like all the songs make you move. It makes you move and it makes you think. All right, like what do you want to experiment on? What type of dance you want to implement into the song? Konami just keeps milking these songs that come out, and it astounds me of like the limits and the boundaries that they're able to like cross when it comes to these like events. So yeah, I think for the most part, like I said, and like what Aiden said, it's the grindy aspects of it, but it also really helps build something for you like down the line.
So going off of the gym event, I know a lot of people are trying to like get into the game, but then they don't know like where to start off of. So I kind of see the gym event as like another way to do like a tutorial in a way, because sometimes the tutorial, it seems long, it's very tedious, and I get that. Like I've played through it multiple times, but it is actually really good because with this one, with the Running Man, a lot of people are struggling to do like that one move, and I feel like that it can like help them out because it's like 1, 2, 3, or like that's how I do my Running Man. It's a 1, 2, and 3, because my feet are basically moving like 1, 2, 3, kind of like that.
Definitely, definitely. Personally, I haven't touched the Autumn Fire event just yet, but going on forward to like the events in general, yeah, they're grindy and all that stuff, but I see them as like progress checks and like, it's a way to get better. Because with my sessions, when I do like gyms events like this, I always ask myself, did I get better at the end of the day? It's because like I see this as an improvement. Like I I'm in a place right now where Dance Rush is very inaccessible, but I have to make it work eventually. So I for myself want to like start dancing outside the pad, trying to get with my flow, shuffling outside because there's a big shuffle community that we can talk about much later. But reinforcing back to the point about just getting better. All right, moving on forward, I want to ask this question. So 2023 is about wrapping up, and us as a crew like to do stuff outside of round one. So some things we like to do is we meet up in New York City for an open studio session just to practice our flow and stuff, and then we also go to conventions and all that jazz. I just saw y'all went to go to the American Dream Mall in Jersey, and a little jealous because me going to school outside of New York made me a little sad as well. But other than that, I just want to ask you guys what's your like favorite like meetup that you did this year, or just better yet, talk about like our meetups outside of round one and just what we basically do in some way of some shape or form.
So with me, it's just like like just every moment, just being with the crew, just like shuffle dancing in like random places. Like it could be in a Sonic parking lot, or the round one parking lot, just like on the 4th of July, just like what, shooting up fireworks. But the biggest thing is that I just want to spend time with the people that I really just like, I consider as my family, my shuffle family. Because like in the end, like how would I say it? Like we all understand how we feel. So like if somebody is having a bad day and they talk about it, like we can understand where they're coming from. That's how I see us. I see us as a family. So whenever we go out and do these events, I feel like that our bonds are like being closer together, you know?
Definitely similar to what Aiden was saying is that yeah, I feel like the biggest highlight of it is that when we do all come together, it's it's a different vibe and a different feeling. Like like it's very wholesome. I want to say. I'm just gonna put that there. It's very wholesome because we all come from a different story, a different background, a different story arc, and this game has brought us together in some way, shape, or form. Like we've all met each other because of this game, for the most part, and to be able to do things like go out to conventions together, anime cons, or uh, go to like studio sessions, or like Aiden said, like as simple as doing the DGen hours and going to Sonic at like midnight or 1 in the morning and just there you go, like shuffling in the parking lot or just playing music. That right there to me is something that shows that like we as people aren't just fully dedicated to one thing. Like we're all here because we care for one another. We enjoy what we do together, and like we enjoy having to spend that time with each other and going out and doing other things. And like I would love to see and this is such a huge stretch, but I would just love to see like one day more people like I guess coming from other states or like us doing the same like we're going over to their states and just hanging out and just doing crossovers cuz the way the game is now like popular and big, it's getting bigger and bigger. I just feel like there are just more and more people coming together like a crossover event.
Are you trying to make me cry? Because it's almost working.
I mean, hey, look, I just woke up, all right? I'm still I'm still a little tired.
I clocked out of work.
Well, that wasn't on my bingo card for this episode. Anyways, even though I'm like a new person in the crew because crew's been long training and running, I really do appreciate every time when we're outside running one, whether it's not, it's we're at Texas Chicken and Burgers at DGen hours, or going to White Castle. And side note, yeah, I am not a White Castle hater, guys.
I'm gonna keep that in mind. Oh, is there
Okay,
something you're not telling me?
all right. Side note: in our Discord server, basically they were going to DGen hours one day to like White Castle in the area, but I was broke. In the Discord server, I was shamed as broke White Castle hater just for a little bit. Moving on forward, when we hang out as a group outside of round one, it's always fun and it's always a good time. And this is like one of the best and closest friend groups I had in a while. Like take Oducon for example. Like we organized this whole New York DMV meetup. And Demonte, remind me, was that a reference that you said Capcom versus SNK, right?
He- yeah, it felt like Capcom versus SNK. I would say Capcom versus SNK too because I was like the better Capcom versus SNK. But yes, it was a nice little crossover between the Maryland crew and the New York crew, and this was actually something that was talked about a little over a year ago. I believe JD brought it up, QED, aka JD. He brought it up to Nate, and I remember Nate reached out to me, and I was like, "Wait, this can be a thing." When though, I don't know, but this can be a thing. And we were just talking about it for months and months, and then finally we were just like, "Wait a minute, we're all going to the same anime con, Otakon." I'm like, "This can't be a thing." So we we did it first time. Um, there was a bit of some hiccups here and there, but it's trial and error, it's trial and tribulation going forward. We would love to do more of crossovers like that in the future. Uh, let's say like having California, you know, coming out to New York or vice versa, and having a little like crossover event. I know that now uh, the arcade is establishing something where we're able to rent out cabinets. Um, so that's a little something up in the air. That's a little bit of a far stretch down the line. Of I won't talk about that right now, but
It's classified information for now.
classified information, yes.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but we are thinking about doing little mini events down the line in the future, hopefully with the game. But otherwise, yes. I feel like crossovers is just going to be such a huge thing now, going forward. Especially like I said earlier, with the game being so big and so involved with everybody around the world playing it now.
Yeah, hopefully something will come into fruition, but then again, this is classified information as of right now. Moving on forward with the next question. So, now with Dance Rush, the music revolves around electronic dance music or EDM. Give me like 3 to 5 of your favorite songs of the game.
Wow.
Too hard? Too hard?
Wow.
Too hard?
I love majority of the songs, but
I'm not picky. If that's what you're thinking, I'm not picky.
yeah. But
This
I will admit, Haster is one of my favorites.
mm,
Um, Crazy Shuffle, obviously, that one is a old banger.
the Dance Rush national anthem, not the Dance Rush
Of
Stardom
course, of course.
anthem,
No,
because
no, no, two different ones, two different ones.
mm, mm, mm.
What else? I think it was Tropical Love. Um, Unfortunately, Let Me See Your Dance is one of them. One of the most hardest songs I've ever played in my entire life.
Hey yo, that's your song.
I actually like that one. I actually like that one. And then the fifth one, I'm gonna have to get back on the. I'm gonna have to get back on the.
um, I guess. All right. So like I said, I'm not picky because there's a bunch of songs in there, even songs that like I don't normally play. I'll still play. Like I would say number five for me would have to be Roughneck Disco. That's up there. Because it's just a vibe. It's just when you play that song, it feels like you have that swag. You have that confidence when you're playing it. That's what I see in Roughneck Disco. Um, Number four, I want to say Bounce to This, definitely. Um, I remember picking that song last year for Mistaken on Lake as for the tournament, and I remember practicing it, and it like grew on me a lot ever since then. So definitely Bounce to This would be number four for me. Number three would probably be, oh my God, I'm like I can't even think.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's hard.
what's that song that it's the one with the pumpkins. I keep forgetting the name of it.
Cyber Devotion?
No. Oh, Undercover.
Oh,
Oh, that one is good. That
oh
one is
yeah,
good.
that's a banger.
Yeah, that would be up there for me cuz like at first I didn't really like it as much. I liked the song a lot, but I didn't really like the chart as much. But now really like experimenting with it, I'm like, this is actually a really good song. It's hard though. It's not an easy nine. Um, number two, dang, number two would have probably have to be. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I just got my fifth. Go down.
Oh, classic.
Oh, Go Down's definitely a classic.
It's amazing.
Um, so okay, so I it's a cross up between 8347, or is it
Mm.
8347? Yeah.
8347.
Yeah, it's a crossover between that and that one song. It's like you spin. No, actually, you know what? New
Feeling
Solution.
good? That one?
Yeah, I was gonna say Feeling Good, but then I just thought about New Solution, and I'm like, New Solution's up there. I definitely either between that and 347 is like number two for me.
And
And
fun
then
fact, 8347, if you put that on your phone, it spells out beat. Thank you, Zach. Very, very cool.
No way.
wait, Aiden, you didn't know that?
Wait, what?
No, I'm stupid. Wait,
I I found that out to like I think after like a week when the song came out, and I was like, oh, that's what it is. I was like, oh.
oh, okay, okay. I'm I'm sorry, I'm stupid.
No, his reaction is the same reaction I had.
That's gonna be good at highlight reel. Highlight reel.
Oh my god, that's gonna be clipped.
That's definitely gonna be clipped. Highlight. But yeah, Go Down's definitely on my list. Definitely gonna put that on there.
Well, number one would definitely, for me personally, number one would be Red Hot Chili Samba.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Is it bad that I
Yes.
always watch your clips freestyle of Red Hot Chili like ever so often?
Every time I go to
Really,
round one, like I always like he usually plays that.
dude, let me tell you, that song personally, it resonates with me a lot, like through the heart, because that was the first song that I really was like, I fell in love when it first came out because it it stems differently from all the other songs. It like brings out a certain culture and a certain vibe to it where you can be so creative with it and so like unorthodox with the song. Like no matter who you are, like no matter how you play the song, no matter like how you go about it, like it's just a song that like really resonates differently from the other songs. And not only that, it was my first level 10 that like I like really spoke to me, because there are other like level 10s out there, but Red Hot Chili Samba was definitely the cake, the icing on the cake for me.
I think every time I play Red Hot Chili Samba, I always have to say I'm doing the Demonte because I always think of you every time for that song.
I think when me and Belinda first saw you do it, like I started doing it too.
Oh man.
Yeah, and
I,
I posted onto my Instagram.
everybody do the chest shake. No, I
The
seen
freaking
people do it, and it puts a smile on my face because like I see like like people who play it and they know like just from like me doing it. I'm like, yeah, I forgot I do that. Like,
You also said like something in Spanish, like so quickly I couldn't even understand. I was just
okay,
like, he got this. Oh, what else did he just say?
I was just I, I am unhinged at times. For people who don't know, with people who like have never met me in person, I uh, but we're all unhinged. Like Aiden, you're unhinged too. Jay has a
I
level
am.
unhinged. Don't even
man, I wonder where I got it from.
Oh no, Demonte, what have you done? I was supposed to be the one. Oh god.
Okay, I'll take a stab at my top five. So Go Down's definitely on my list. Keep in mind this is not in any particular order. It's just I enjoy like these crossover events. Like, even though I have to say it, Dance Around has some bangers on there. Um, Another one is one of the DDR crossovers. Ethereum by Blackie and Rita Yuzuki is another good one. I don't know. I have some connection to it. Like it's one of my favorite like crossover events in like quite some time. And I'd say third one is You Take My Soul because I feel like there's like a lot of freestyle ability and I like to do some cutting shapes to that chart as well. Four, I also have to say Acid Tribal and Dance because again, unfortunately, another dance around banger that's in Dance Rush, but obviously Dance Rush is better. And then fifth one, yeah, I have to definitely go with a New Solution because definitely I like the chart and it's one of my favorite from that year from Sparkfest in 2021.
At a good, slow, like moderate speed, and like you could do a lot of freestyle in that one.
I
So
remember when the song came out, and I felt like I remember everyone like really was on that. Like when that came out, I remember everybody was like trying to style.
definitely, definitely. Like I really appreciate for New Solution. Like there is a little bit of a '90s R&B, New Jack Swing, hip hop, b boy type of influence in that song. Moving on forward, I do want to ask you guys, what is, in your view, the most challenging chart in Dance Rush?
Is that even a question to me?
I know, right?
I saw the look on his face.
You already know because it's been years and years that it's been happening to me. So, the dreaded Set Me Free was my hardest chart because I don't know what happened, but every time I would play that chart, I would get a cramp in my leg for so long. And the final time before I stopped getting cramps in that song, I got it in my left ass cheek. So I was just like, how does that happen?
Damn, that's
Yeah,
crazy. That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
know. And I was like, how do you do it
I remember
in the
that
left
day.
butt cheek?
I remember that day actually. I remember
Oh
you
my.
coming up to me and you were like, "I'm in pain," and I'm like,
I-
"What happened?"
the stupid thing is that I stretched and I drank a shit ton of water. Oh, my bad.
It's all good. All good. I just got to put the explicit note on it. It's all
Yep.
good.
Thank you for that one. I totally forgot. But yeah, I was just like, I'm drinking like a whole bunch of water. Like I'm stretching like crazy, and I have my roller with me. And I have my friend like help me up with all these stretches, and he's like, I don't know what's going on with you. Like you keep getting cramps. You're doing all these stretches and drinking like a ton of water, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, water is the biggest essential when it comes to this game. Especially with a lot of these hard charts because I catch myself forgetting like to drink water and that's like on me. I mean, now I'm hell bent on water. Like and I try to encourage other people to drink water. Um but moving forward with the like with the hard charts, I want to say the hardest chart. I wanted to say Let Me See You Dance because that in itself is its own entity. However, I am starting to realize that Crazy for You is one of the most grueling charts.
I can kind
Is
of
it
see it a
because
little
it's
bit.
like is it because of the stamina? Like you need a lot of
Yeah,
stamina to do it? Because I know you do your like your signature Luigi on that, and I do that too. And I could definitely see like, how um how intense that is. Because after I'm done with the Luigi, I am short out of breath and I'm like, I can't find a way to breathe as I'm playing this chart. So what can I do to like, cheat the system? Just like, try and get my breath back. But there's no way.
yeah, like to this day, like I'll catch myself sometimes playing it like out of breath, and it's like you said, like you have to train yourself, like you have to train your breathing, right? And most of the times that's what we forget. Like I forget this too. Is when you're dancing, like you want to breathe through your nose. You don't want to breathe through your mouth. Like you're gonna definitely lose a lot more energy, just from breathing out of the mouth. but playing Crazy for You, oh man, like it, the chart patterns when it comes to the chart patterns, um, freestyling it. I think freestyling it has to be probably one of the most grueling things ever to do on that chart, and trying to freestyle that song, it's like holy crap. So
Definitely.
it's definitely up there.
Definitely, definitely. Um, when I saw the chart on YouTube for Let Me See You Dance, I was straight up confused on what was happening, and that for a level 10 is very demanding. I haven't played Let Me See You Dance, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But from my view, I think a triumphant, a promised triumphant song at the end of the world Stardom Remix is one of the hardest 10s I've played at this moment. It's one of the KAC qualifiers back in years past. I got it through an extra stage unlock service. And yeah, like some patterns with that chart felt like very demanding and felt like somewhat a little weird to me at first. And definitely will like kind of stump like a new player if they ever like play like tens in general. Like tens in general, like for new players might be a little bit confusing for sure.
Yeah,
Guys,
no, but I've seen the chart and it's really intense. Like I thought
yeah.
make that body was pretty difficult, but this one puts the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, definitely. It's more of a stamina thing for these charts in the end because some level 10s are rated very low 10s. And I also do want to mention some of the new level 10s, like Rocket the Party is like a light 10, and then Lindworm's Stardom Remix, that's a some 10, all right? So basically, how you would get it is like Dance Rush posted on their Twitter, there was like a pick a new Stardom remix out of 3 songs, and Learn Room got chosen. So I put in my votes, and I got it 14 days after the song got released. And then for the rest, people have to wait 60 days after the initial release.
I
Uh,
feel like that you're like you need like a different technique of breathing. Like for like DDR you have like this type of technique for breathing. For pump it up you got this type of like technique for breathing. But then with Dance Rush, it's a lot more difficult because you don't know how to breathe because your body is moving in so many different positions. Like you're engaging your core the the entire time, and that's affecting how you breathe.
Definitely. Because unlike DDR, you're using more of your lower body. On the contrary, with Dance Rush, you're using basically your whole body, so it's a little bit more demanding, a little bit more cardio, so using more of your upper body and also your lower body as well. Next question I want to ask you guys is a little bit more personal. Do you guys have any future plans as a Dance Rush player? And also to ask the other question, what do you want to see in the future of Dance Rush itself? Like, could be within the game, and also could be within our community or the Dance Rush Stardom community as a whole.
So with me, I do want to like, continue making like all these types of like different videos. Like I do record myself playing Dance Rush and I would do want to post it online, but I just never got the time to do that. But my main goal is to spread awareness of this game because not a lot of people know about this because this is only specifically in round 1 locations or in some cases like Florida, their arcade monster. But everybody knows DDR, they know Pump It Up, they know possibly Guitadora, I don't know. But they know all of the famous rhythm games. They don't know Dance Rush, so that's what I want to try and do. I want to try and make people like how would I say like notice Dance Rush because it is a phenomenal game, even for beginners. Like it doesn't even matter if you suck. It doesn't matter if you like you've danced for like years on end. It's all about having fun. It's always about having fun.
Definitely, definitely.
So I do have a couple of things that are uh coming up. Uh, I know that we mentioned it before in the beginning. Mistake on a Lake that is coming up in like 3 weeks. So Jay and I will actually be competing for this year's Mistake on a Lake. So that'll be fun, exciting. Mistake on a Lake is going to be in Ohio. There's going to be other rhythm games as well, but Dance Rush being one of them is going to be there. So again, we're going to be competing there. Um, December is also going to be another big tournament, Eclipse East. That is going to be in Maryland. I'm not competing in that one though. I will be judging with Nate, aka Meepston, and JD, aka QED. We're all three of us are going to be judging the tournament. So that's going to be an interesting one as well. But as far as the future may hold, um, I am steering more into the direction of wanting to run tournaments and run events for the new generation and for newcomers to pretty much to just have fun, compete, put their skills to the test or put their skills out there, even if it's something that's fun. Like social media is a huge thing right now. So everyone's like, broadcasting it, streaming it, live recording. You see it on TikTok now, you see it on Instagram now, you see it on YouTube now, Twitch. So with these tournaments, it'll help a lot of these like players shine. And a lot of these players who are willing to grow and who dedicate this game, who dedicate the time. Even for people who are dancing off the pad, So that's something that I want to start doing, down the line moving forward. Hopefully next year, start creating these events and tournaments for people to, express and compete. You know, um, and yeah, honestly, just people growing in general. Like I just want to see people just evolve. That's always just been a thing that I enjoyed watching. Like, the locals, like in our like East Coast Stardom Crew, like in our group, um, people outside of New York. I just see that everyone is just evolving over time. Like, one guy, I have to say this too. One guy that has been standing out to me, and I gotta give a shout out to him. My boy Sprite. He's just been on a roll lately. And first time I met him was at Mistaken Lake last year, and I remember like him and I had the conversation of him. He wanted to learn more of like cutting shapes. He wanted to learn more like fundamentals and things like that. And to see him now, I'm like, this man is going somewhere. Like, shout outs to him. Uh, shout outs to as well like our locals like East Coast Stardom Crew. Shout outs to a lot of you guys for still continuing to do your own thing and doing what you're doing. Like shout outs to uh our boy Brian LC. He's this man's been evolving, this man's been improving. Shout outs to Harry. Harry's been just on a roll with his house. And like obviously you aided you just been on a roll. Like even if like you just been like working a lot, like you still come back and you just do your thing. Same with you, Jay. Like you have definitely have built a foundation and the fundamentals and yeah, just the evolution and we just keep growing. And 5 years in the making and I just want to see five more years of that.
Definitely. And here's to many, many more of those years as East Coast Stardom Crew. I mean, with this intention of this podcast, I do want to get the word out of this game because the hardest thing ever is getting this word out in general. Like, no matter what you do, through verbally or through social media or through digitally, that's like the hardest thing to do is to take that first step, initiate that gas pedal right there. Like, I want to spread this community and like grow this community. And then us as a crew, as East Coast Starting Crew, we're very welcoming. We always motivate each other. Are everyone's support system in a way. And I really do appreciate that. And then if it wasn't for social media that got me into this game, I do want to give a couple of shout outs. I want to give a shout out to DJ Lonnie Dance on TikTok. He's part of the Melbourne crew in Australia over there. So shout out Melbourne crew. Love you guys. And also Ijikin, always posting up the new dance rush charts daily. So like when I'm in school, I always get to check out the new dance rush charts in the event that I'm not at a round one or anything. And also the people who I met like over the summer as well.
Yeah, honestly, shout outs yeah, definitely shout outs to Nate, Meepston, shout outs to Maryland crew, shout outs to like you said, Ichigan. Ichigan has also just been on a roll too. Just the man's just been awesome running tournaments and like like showcasing, displaying like on his stream, like when the new stuff and the new content comes out for Dance Rush. So definitely big shout out to him. And God, there's just so many shout outs like I could just do right now, but that'll just take so much time
Yeah.
on your stream.
Luckily, we just hit the hour mark. All right, just to wrap up this inaugural episode, this is more of a personal question I'm going to be asking all my interviewers this season. So, say if I'm a new player in this rhythm game genre, and Dance Rush was the first game that caught my eye, what would be like a piece or a couple of pieces of advice for me as a new player getting into this game seriously and wanting to like grind this game in a way?
With me, it would just be have fun. Do not think what others think. Like, because if you let that take over your mind, the more you're going to self doubt yourself and the more you're going to hate the game. The point of the game is to enjoy yourself. It's not to hate the game. It's to enjoy every single moment that you just create on the pad.
um, the wise words of uh, a man that I've known for years. Let the music motivate your mind. Let it consume you. Let your soul feel the vibe, feel the music. Let your mind take over and your body take over. Uh, just express yourself. Don't be afraid to, you know, get up and dance. Don't be afraid to get up on that stage and show what you got. Like, be free about it. Um, express that mind and just have fun. Like just yeah, just have fun.
Definitely have fun. And if you're not having fun, what the heck are you doing? And to wrap things up, gonna take a little bit from Love to Shuffle, one of my favorite level 10s. Feel the power, feel the rhythm. Now move your feet. Now dance like 1, 2, 3. Well, thank you guys for listening to the Mottie Hour. Make sure you go ahead and follow and subscribe to the East Coast Stardom Crew on Instagram and YouTube. So at East Coast Stardom Crew on Instagram, and you can YouTube search East Coast Stardom Crew on YouTube. Make sure you also follow Dance Rush Stardom Discord server. We have active members every day from across the world. Very down to earth community, very, very nice people. So join up that Discord. So that's discord.gg/dance rush. Once again, discord.gg/dance rush. And make sure you're following the Motzi Hour. I'll be posting podcasts about almost every week. And make sure you follow the Motzi Hour wherever you follow podcasts. Aztrylmyx and Warrior, thank you so much for joining me for this episode.
Yeah, not a problem. It's been a pleasure.
Definitely been a pleasure.
All right, catch everyone next time.